So just the other day, I was praising Ubisoft and their franchise Assassin's Creed. It is a favorite franchise of mine. It's not my favorite franchise on this current gen system, but it's up there. I mean, I play every one of them. I love them, well, except for the ones on the portables. I don't really have any portable systems, but all the main parts of the particular franchise I play. And I was just reading a couple of articles and, you know, just doing my normal thing, looking for stories and stuff like that. And came across a couple of videos that was saying that they have actually planned the ending for Assassin's Creed. And I think a lot of people don't really understand the true meaning of that. But that's pretty epic to actually have an ending to a series, because I think what normally happens with franchises, right, is they'll stop selling, so they'll stop making them, or maybe the company goes bankrupt, you know, things of that nature, just stuff that wouldn't necessarily be a fitting end to a series. In other words, it kind of leaves us hanging as gamers, especially when you're attached to a specific franchise. A good example of that is Darksiders. You know, I'm a big fan of the Darksiders series, and then THQ went bankrupt. You see what I mean? Now, since then, we've had a company buy their licenses and stuff like that, so we probably are going to see, you know, some more Darksiders games. But you get my point. Had nobody bought that, then Darksiders would have just ended, like pretty much halfway through the story, because it's one continuous story. And we all know that their plan was to have us play as each one of the 4 horsemen, right? But obviously right now we've only played with 2. So you get my point. That franchise, had it not been bought, would have been ended before it was supposed to end. We see that a lot in TV. We see that a lot with anything that's episodic, right? We see that a lot. You know, it's not like they're just putting this thing together as they go. Like, from what they're saying from the articles I've read, is that they've already made an ending to this game, like an actual ending, and they're just waiting to tie it all in. Now, I think that they're basing when they're actually going to put the ending out based on sales and, you know, the way the franchise is going. But they're saying that they can end it at any time. And because they've now switched over to be like a yearly game, they're a yearly franchise now with that game. I think there's multiple teams that work on it, kind of like Call of Duty. They alternate, they help each other out, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing for a game like Assassin's Creed, because you're really in it for the story. Like, I don't really play Assassin's Creed for the multiplayer. I know some people do, but I think most people who buy that game are in it for the story and may not want to wait 4 years for another story. And with that type of game, you really don't have to do too much to the story. You just have to change the environment. It's really all about the environment. It's about the world that you live in. I mean, yeah, they're probably going to do some, you know, tweaking to, you know, assassinations and stuff like that, but for the most part, we've been doing the same thing in Assassin's Creed since the beginning. But the world changes so much that that's what makes it so fascinating, at least for me as a player. So if they, you know, continue to come out yearly like that, you know, as long as they're giving me a good world to exist in, a bit of history that I can kind of check out, I'm cool with it, you know, especially when you get to meet famous people from history. You know, it's not just like random characters that you meet. These are people that are in our history books. So I think that's the fascinating part of Assassin's Creed. But the fact that they know the ending, and that they're basically saying that, like, for instance, in the last Assassin's Creed, they kind of hinted to that naval kind of combat. And then boom, in Assassin's Creed 4, that pretty much is the world now. Yes, there's going to be city type stuff you can do, but for the most part, you're going to be in the water. I mean, you're a pirate, so that's kind of what you do. So when I play Assassin's Creed 4 in a couple of days, what does it come out in, like a week or something? I am going to be looking for hints of what the next game could be. Because from what the article was saying is that they're kind of hinting at, you know, they're dropping little seeds inside of these games so that they can kind of dictate what the next game's going to be, to kind of get us used to it. So I'm going to be looking for that when I play Assassin's Creed 4. But I think it's great that they have an ending. They're just waiting for the perfect time to throw it out there. And I can't honestly wait to see how it ends, right? Because I think we've all been following the storyline for quite some time. But I think it's going to be epic regardless. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed the show, and I'll see you tomorrow. You guys be good.